the Wood brothers appear to have their next driver. Is this the move that will get them to win number 100? How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. NASCAR free agency is in full swing. We'll get to that in just a moment. First, as you can see by my hat, this episode is sponsored by Beard Guys. Guys with a Z. Beard Guys is sponsoring Kyle Weatherman in the NASCAR Xfinity Series race at the Chicago Street Course. You can watch on NBC Saturday afternoon. They sent me a pretty awesome care package helping me take care of my beard, and they can help you take care of yours as well. Head to beardguys.com. That's Beard Guys with a Z at the end. You can find all their great products and even keep an eye out for some special deals. Thanks to Beard Guys for sponsoring the show. Before we really get into this episode, I feel like we need a previously on Out of the Groove, a brief lore dump to get everyone back up to speed. Stewart-Haas Racing announces they're shutting down at the end of this season. Haas Factory Team, a single-car organization, will stick around, but the 4 current Stewart-Haas drivers are now free to explore other opportunities. Martin Truex Jr., Joe Gibbs Racing driver, announces this will be his final full-time season, freeing up the 19. Chase Briscoe, a current Stewart-Haas driver, announces he's signing with Joe Gibbs Racing to take over said 19 car. He turned down the Wood brothers and Team Penske, who offered him the 21. Now, the Wood brothers, forced to pivot, appear to have found their next NASCAR Cup Series driver. Adam Stern, reporting for Sports Business Journal, writes that Wood Brothers Racing is in advanced talks to sign driver Josh Berry to compete for the team starting with the 2025 season. Berry and the Wood brothers have been in negotiations for weeks and are moving towards finalizing an agreement. Shortly after that report came out, the Wood brothers announced that there will be a press conference tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Josh Berry will likely be revealed as the team's new driver. What a journey Josh Berry has been on the past few seasons. Just a few years ago, he was a late model star, maybe with dreams of NASCAR, but no clear path to follow. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was able to put the pieces together to get Berry in an Xfinity car part-time, then full-time. Then suddenly Josh Berry is subbing for Chase Elliott and Hendrick Motorsports in the Cup Series, leverages that into a full-time Cup opportunity this year with Stewart-Haas, who just so happens to be going out of business. Now he'll move over to the Wood brothers, staying within the Ford system. That's important for the Blue Ovals. So much has changed so quickly for Josh Berry in a short matter of time. Berry to the 21. I like this move, but I don't love it. Let me explain. First, let's make one thing clear. There is way more potential in that 21 car than it's currently showing. That car is prepared at the Team Penske shop, surrounded by Penske people. Jeremy Bullins is the crew chief over there. Before he was with the Wood brothers, he spent 5 years with Penske, and before that, he was also with the Wood brothers. So Penske is pulling the strings, sending their people to and from that team as if it were their own. I know it's easy to forget. We all have short-term memories. But just 3 years ago, before Harrison Burton got to the Wood brothers, this was a fringe playoff team. Look at some of these numbers. The average finish ballooned starting in 2022, but 2021 and before, the end of the Gen 6 era, the Wood brothers were decent. They finished top 20 in points 6 straight years, made the playoffs twice, won a race with sophomore driver at the time, Ryan Blaney. You can clearly see, looking at this chart, when Matt DiBenedetto was in the seat, they were a playoff contender. When Ryan Blaney was in the seat, they were a playoff contender. The numbers have dropped off horrendously the past 3 years with Harrison Burton. Also, a lot of crew chief changes there, you can see. There's been a lot of turnover at the Wood brothers, just trying to find the right long-term combination. But regardless, my point being is that before the most recent driver was in that car, the Wood brothers 21 was decent. Was it a championship contending car? Maybe not, but it was good. It could make the playoffs with the right guy behind the wheel. I think Josh Berry, with his talent and experience, can do good things in this car. He will certainly make it look better than it's looked the last couple of seasons. Most importantly, Josh Berry will get to be in the Team Penske shop, the team that's won back-to-back Cup Series championships. I believe the 21 car next season will be better equipment consistently than Stewart-Haas is right now. So that's why I like this move. But the reason I don't love it is because Rodney Childers more than likely is not going with him. Josh Berry said at Nashville this past weekend that he has multiple options, some of which didn't have room for Rodney Childers or the rest of the number 4 guys. When Josh Berry said that, my mind immediately went to the Wood brothers. Again, a Penske team with Penske people. Rodney Childers might be better than Jeremy Bullins, or who else does Penske get? Brian Wilson on the 2 car, or some of the other guys currently on the staff. But like Jeremy Bullins, the current crew chief of the 21, has been with Team Penske for over a decade. And I said this earlier, he's won races with Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Austin Cindric. It's not easy to get rid of or even relocate someone who's been with your organization for years and for the most part has gotten results. In the media center this past weekend, Josh Berry spoke glowingly of Rodney Childers and everyone on the 4 team. Maybe because he knows he's leaving them behind. He's gassing them up because he has a good relationship with these guys. He wants them all to still end up in a good place somewhere. That was my theory, at least, and the reports today, I don't know, have me doubling down on that theory. I don't think Rodney Childers is following Josh Berry to the 21. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Tomorrow morning, I guess we'll find out for sure. Not keeping Berry and Childers together is a risk. They've done really well this year, all things considered. Rodney Childers is an incredible asset. Jeremy Bullins is solid, don't get me wrong, but Rodney Childers is a difference maker. I feel like that duo could have done so much damage for years to come if only they're able to stick together. I'll hold out some hope. Maybe Childers to the Wood brothers still happens, but it seems unlikely at this point. How does this impact the rest of NASCAR silly season? I mean, Rodney Childers could end up elsewhere. I know he's toyed with the idea of retiring in recent seasons, but he could still end up with Front Row, which I think would be a fantastic match. Realistically, Front Row's lineup next year could be Todd Gilliland, Noah Gragson. Bob Bockhorst reported last week like Christian Eckes or Sam Mayer could get considered. That's an extremely young group, a young group that would need a strong veteran presence to help guide them. Not to mention, Front Row's new Tier 1 status with Ford could be overwhelming if you don't have the right guy at the helm. Like Legacy Motor Club became a Tier 1 Toyota team this year, but they're struggling. Why? Because they've never had to deal with this much data before. They grew in the offseason, but they're still trying to get the right people in the right positions to actually utilize all the new data and resources they're getting from Toyota. It's a long process. It's not something they could flip a switch overnight. They don't have an alliance with JGR. Front Row will be in very much the same boat next year, but with Ford. Someone like Rodney Childers could help fast track the process towards them being more competitive. So I still like Childers to Front Row. That seems like a great match to me. We'll see if they throw the bag at him or make him an offer he can't refuse. Otherwise, like I mentioned, Noah Gragson has been linked to Front Row. Of course, he's also previously been linked to Richard Childress Racing. Cole Custer is likely to end up as the Haas factory team driver next year. Riley Herbst been tied to 2311 through family funding. We'll see. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning's Wood Brothers press conference. Let me know what you expect to see. Do you think there's a chance Rodney Childers follows Berry to Penske? Or will Rodney Childers now be unleashed elsewhere? Let me know. What's your prediction? Down in the comment section below. Before we go, you may have missed it, I uploaded a short interview with Kyle Weatherman, NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. We talked about the Chicago street race, the struggles of racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the early days of Weatherman's career when he was crashing on Chris Buescher's couch, and so much more. The full interview is up on my channel. I'll link it down in the description below, but for now, here's just a short sneak peek. Hope you enjoy. We talked briefly at Nashville, and I know we mentioned this then, but you've had some Cup Series teammates for one-offs recently, like Ross Chastain at Nashville. You'll be driving alongside Daniel Suarez at Chicago this weekend. When you have experienced Cup guys come in for a race here or there, is there anything you can learn from them during those weekends?
Yeah, it helps. It helps a lot, right? The knowledge and preparation that they have coming into Cup events obviously trickles down to them with the Xfinity stuff too. So knowledge and just data that they have and previous races that they've ran there, it just all helps, right? So diagnosing, very similar. Our cars go to the racetrack very similar, the 91 and 92. So, normally what he's fighting is very similar to what I'm fighting. So the knowledge that he has to kind of diagnose and fix and get better, it just helps expedite that process, right? And he just knows, both of them know what anybody in the Cup Series knows, kind of what they need to go fast, and every driver's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, normally the same problems that we're having are similar, and we kind of have two data points to kind of look at and kind of diagnose and get as better as fast as we can.
Thank you again to Kyle Weatherman for being on the show. You can check out the full interview. Link is in the description. That's going to do it, folks. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more NASCAR content. And a big thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I know it's a busy day, busy week, I will be streaming live on this channel with some of my YouTube friends. We'll talk Nashville, Chicago, everything in between. Come hang out with us 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll talk to you again real soon.